Hi, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. I'm so glad you joined me today. I want to show you how to make this birthday card using the Sweet as a Peach bundle. It's really so pretty. I love the images, and I'll show you how I added a little more color to them. I stamped the flowers, I stamped everything with this, and then there's dies that cut out the peaches, the flowers, some little tiny flowers, leaves. It's really great. So happy birthday. Hope your day is as sweet as a peach. And I just love it. So I am also using this paper. Let me just show it to you. It's the You're a Peach Designer Series paper. And it's really so pretty. I love the colors. It's a lot of, oranges for the peaches. So this is one side, this is the other. But it also has some blues in it. So it's very pretty. And I believe, let me just check, I believe you can cut out these peaches. There's been a lot of dies that they have that cut out some of the papers. Maybe it's not this, maybe it's this one. Maybe not. I guess I'm wrong with that. So this is the paper we're using. There's just some really pretty patterns. I love the flowers. Just really pretty. And this is pretty too. So these are those little tiny flowers. I'm surprised that you can't cut them out. I'll have to go back and check on that. So anyway, that's the paper. And let me just put this back so I don't forget it. And I already did some cutting. I cut this one piece. So I'm having the Designer Series paper. I have to try this again. I really thought it would cut it out. I guess it does. Okay. Sort of. It's a little bit off. But I think you could do it if you wanted. But it's so easy to stamp and cut, it doesn't matter. So I'm using the basic border dies to cut this. Well, I already did it. I cut this piece. And I just took a the inside layer that I usually use. So it's 5 1/4 by 4, and I just laid it on my die cutting machine and cut it out, and I'll lay it right over this piece. Now you can cut this back piece down so you're not wasting it, but I like to have the whole thing so I know exactly where to lay this so I can adhere it to the card. But you can figure it out, I'm sure, if you didn't want to do it. And I wanted to show you a card that I made yesterday using this. If you look at my blog from yesterday, I used this one and I cut both sides of this layer and then just adhered it. And I thought it was cute. So this is the garden birdhouses, and there's a bunch of different birdhouses. So if you look at my blog for yesterday, you'll see this. But I thought these dies were fun. I think you can make, I don't know, this kind of looks like clouds, and I was wondering if maybe you can cut some and then cut them this way, or mountains in the background, or just having an edge like this zigzag right along, and then having the back of the card show through. So I thought those were good ideas, and let's get started. So the first thing I did was I stamped all these flowers, and I'll show you how I did that. Let me just get a piece of scrap and just put it up here. So what I did, I'm using lots of oranges. I'm using Pale Papaya, Mango Melody, and Calypso Coral. So on the flowers, I did the Pale Papaya, and I'll just stamp them. Actually, I'm going to do the leaves first. And I did that in Granny Apple Green. I was trying to think whether I should do the leaves or the flowers. I may do the leaves and then the flowers and then some more leaves. We'll kind of go through it because I added more after I laid it out because I wasn't sure what I was doing. I play and then I'm like, oh, I was going to do this, but this makes more sense to do it this way. So as I go, I may add some things. I just don't want to crash into any peaches. So let's get all the leaves done. I know I'm talking on and on here. Okay, so we have our leaves done. Let's put this away. This is Granny Apple Green. And then I want to stamp my flowers with the, what is this? The Pale Papaya. And then I have Calypso Coral that I'm going to just do a little bit of sponging on. So I'm going to use a Sponge Dauber. So I'll just stamp this, get my little Sponge Dauber, and I'm just going to tap the center just to give it a variation of color. And now I have to figure out how these go. And they kind of line up. I'm just going to twirl them until I get them to look like they are where they belong. And the other thing you can do, and we'll do it on the inside, so you can do these flowers or the group of peaches with the leaves. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let's do this again. I'm just going to stamp it here, stamp it down. And you can't see much of this Calypso Coral, but it does give it a little bit of a darker color in the center. And then we'll do the same thing. Let's see, I'm twirling and twirling. And I'll have to try to see if the leaves, if it's better to do the flowers or the leaves first. This seemed to work pretty good, so that's a little bit darker than I wanted. That's okay. And now with this, we're only going to get partial flowers. Not sure exactly what, so I'm going to do them all. And I'm just doing kind of a corner of this because I don't want to get too much of the ink on. And let's see. So we're going to go right off the paper here. And then let's do one more. Let's see. What am I doing? Okay, I'm getting confused. Comedy hour here. You know, when I think about this peach, I think of the album Eat a Peach by the Allman Brothers. I don't know if I'm dating myself, but I keep thinking I'm going to call it Eat a Peach by accident. Okay, so we have these done. Then I'm going to do this little tiny flower. Let me put this aside. Right in the center, and that kind of pulls it all together, don't you think? It's just this little splatter. I did get some ink on my finger. I felt it go in, so I want to make sure I don't touch something I shouldn't. So it's pretty because these flowers, they're kind of a just a little bit of a, not an ombre look, but it just kind of, there's a lighter color on the outside, a darker color on the inside. So they look natural, I think. Okay, so next we're going to do the peaches. So I have a piece of scrap paper. And we could put this aside. And I'm going to use Mango Melody and also the Calypso Coral. So let me do the peach, and I'm going to just add a little bit of the Calypso Coral just around the edge. Nothing too spectacular there. So it just gives it, you know, a different shade, just like an orange would be. I'm sorry, a peach. I'm calling it the wrong fruit now. And I'm going to do this over here. Whoops. Let me add this. And it really doesn't matter where you put it. I'll put this over here, and then I want to see if I can get 2 sets of leaves in there. So let's put this away for now. And I'm going to do these bigger leaves with the Granny Apple Green. And then we'll cut them. And these will all fit in my mini Stampin' Cut machine. So we'll give that a whirl right on camera. Usually I go off camera to cut, but I figured it would be a nice way to show it. And it's so cute, isn't it? So this doesn't work on everything, but if you have small dies or the smaller folders, it's really so handy. It just, you put the 1 plate in, 2 plate, we'll put this on. let's get the dies. So I'm using the big peach and the big leaves. And we'll just go right through. And you line up this one, so there's like a little point on the bottom. And that helps you to figure out lining it up. Okay, and then we put a plate over it and run it through. So easy. And then we'll just do the other ones. So cute. Okay. Let's do this one. We'll just go back through the other way. Now, if you want, you can put a piece of Post-it note to hold these in place, or some kind of Post-it tape or something like that. They're a little bit close. I was trying to have room between them so they didn't crash into each other, but I think this will do. So we'll just go right back. Oh, looks like the leaves might have went off a little bit. Let's see how they came out. Yeah, I might do them again real quick. I have another scrap. Okay, much better. Sorry about that. I thought I had them laid out right. Sometimes I'll cut things twice just to, or separately, just so that I don't have that problem. Okay, let's put things together. So we have our card base and our stamped image. So let's just get some Stamp and Seal. And I'm going to go a little crazy here because I want it to really lie down flat. And I'll just line it up right at the corner. And this is where I was saying you can have a smaller piece, but then you have to make sure that it lines up here and you have enough space to lay it on here with the border around. So let's put this down. I love peaches. They're just coming in season now, and they're a little bit expensive, but I did buy some, and they're really good. I love peaches and blueberries together. I have them with my cereal in the morning. Cheerios with peaches and blueberries, and I'll tell you, it's like eating pie or something. It's so good. It's like a real treat. So we're going to put these down, and let me get some dimensionals. And then we'll put down, we'll do a sentiment. And I love this happy birthday. I am going to use that on lots of cards. I already have used it because it's a good size and it's a good, the script is really pretty. So I like it a lot. So I'm going to use these, and then I will just cut into this and get some small pieces. So I'll just cut 3, 4 for the leaves. So I'll put one on each leaf. And if you have the mini dimensionals, you can use those. But I don't have them out, so I'll just cut these up. I like to use these little cut up pieces. All right, so let's get this kind of situated. And you can put a little bit of glue here as it touches, but I don't think it's necessary. So sometimes, it depends on how big the piece is, but sometimes if it's overlapping, you want to just put a little bit of glue underneath here. You want the dimensionals to keep it upright, but then you might want glue to hold it down. But these are not that big of pieces. So I'm going to just put this one right here. At first when I saw these, I was trying to figure out how they went. I mean, you could do that, but I like having the stem show. When I was growing up, we had a peach tree up in New York, and every other year we would get a ton of peaches. I don't know if that's the way they work. One year we'd get nothing, and the next year we'd be giving bags of them away. So they were really cool, but they were very fuzzy. And I know a lot of people don't like the peach fuzz, but they were delicious. So I'm going to just use the Happy Birthday. I'm using the black ink. You could use an orange ink. And this is a 3/4 piece of strip of the basic white. Isn't that so pretty? And I was trying to go along lines with this, so I'm using this punch. It has the point and then the banner. So you don't have to do this step. I just thought it kind of went right in line with the card itself. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'll cut this one and go in the other way. And I like to feed it in, so I'm feeding it in like this. And I like to feed it in so I can see where I'm punching it. I may punch this a little bit more. And hopefully I don't get carried away with it. Okay, that came out good. So now we'll put a couple of dimensionals on this. And the front is done, and then we'll just do the inside. I don't know if I even showed you the inside yet, so I will show that to you, and then we'll do it. I did the leaves with the peach instead of the flowers, but I didn't have enough room for all of them, so it's only one. So this will go right across like that. And then on the inside, I did Hope Your Day is as Sweet as a Peach. And now I remember I did show you this. I did the 2 colors to match the Happy Birthday. You could do it all in one color, whatever you want to do. And then we've just got the peach hanging out there. So let me get an inside layer. And let me get my scrap again. And we'll do the peach up top. So I'll just stamp this in the green. Where's my green? Here it is. And I'll ink up the whole thing, even though I'm only going to stamp part of it. I kind of just had it in the corner, and I had the bottom grouping like this. And I always ink up the whole thing for something like this. Now with the peaches, I only want the one peach, and I don't want this to be inked up, stamped. So what I'm going to do is I'll do the Mango Melody, and let me get the Calypso Coral out, because I'm going to do a little bit of this sponge daubing with this as well. And I only want this bottom one, so I'm only going to ink the bottom. You can mask it if you want. And then I'll take a little bit of the dauber and dip it in the Calypso Coral and just add that. So let's get this right there. Perfect, right? And then we'll do our sentiment, and I'll do the black for the first part of it. Make sure, I love that these are photopolymer, because you can see where whether it's upside down or not. I feel like this whole thing is crooked. Hope your day is as sweet as a peach. You can add some little flowers if you wanted, but this is good enough for me. And we can put that in, and the card is done. You could add some bling to it. I never know whether to add bling or not. I was thinking of adding something there, but I think it's good. You could put some in the center of the flowers, but I liked it the way it is, so I'm leaving it alone. but you do what you like. That's the beauty of this. Everybody can make kind of the same card and change it up a bit and have a different look. So all right, so I think these are really cute. I love this set. I really love the flowers. I don't know, I think there's something about the flowers that just are very appealing to me. So thanks for joining, and come back again for the next one. Have a good day. Bye.